Hey everyone, welcome to How to Trick a Fish. I'm Lee Russell Clark. This series is going to be my journey to a bass personal best. Give you a quick bit of history. I've not really caught a lot of bass on lures yet. I've done a little bit sort of back in 2013, 2014, where I was sort of just spinning from the shore with Dexter wedges and stuff, sort of hoping for the best and not really knowing what the hell I was doing. I did meet up with a pal called Adam Sharp on a rock mark in Plymouth, and he sort of showed me a place where you can actually catch a few bass. So I went there the following night and managed to catch one on my own, sort of 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that was on one of these sidewinder sand eels, which used to be sort of my favourite lure all the time. So it's used for boat fishing for mainly pollock and cod, but they are very successful for bass as well. Still got quite a few of these in the box. And then I sort of stopped bass fishing for a few years because I moved house up to Surrey and London sort of area, and was mainly fishing for sort of perch and chub, etc., in the rivers up there. 2017, I was driving down to visit my son in Plymouth, and I was talking to Mark Callan at the time, so I used to read his blog religiously. Really liked the content and still followed bass fishing, even though I wasn't really doing it. And Mark sort of suggested that he had a free night that night, so we should go out fishing together as sort of a client session if I wanted to go out with him. So I sort of jumped at the chance, and then I met with Mark to do a night session. So we met him sort of just before dark, and we fished a beach mark in South Devon. And yeah, it was a really good night. Didn't have many fish. We had one fish at the end of the night, a few bites before that. I'll put links up to my blog post about it and to Mark's below in the description. But I caught the fish on one of these Jim's needlefish lures. That fish was 70 centimetres. I was absolutely chuffed to bits with it. Even though it was like my biggest fish, I don't really count it because obviously I was guided to that fish. So obviously I'd love to beat the 70 centimetres, but for me I sort of want to just get as close to it as possible, or even just a big sort of 60 centimetre fish plus on a lure on my own without obviously being guided to it. And I'd still count that sort of as my personal best because I'm going to credit that fish to Mark. He put me on that fish. So yeah, really keen to get myself a 60 plus centimetre bass on a lure from the shore off this coastline down in Devon where I'm now living, so I've moved back here last year. It's going to be my journey, so follow along if you like. I've been getting a lot of sort of knowledge from these two books, which are written by Mark Callan, the same guide. I'll put some links to Mark's blog and to buy these books. The first one, The Lure of the Bass, is literally like the Haynes manual of bass fishing. It's got just about everything you could possibly need to know, especially for the coastline I'm living on. I've read this about 5 times already. I've reviewed it to hell, so I will put a link to my review on that in the description as well. But yeah, it's a really good book. And then I've got the follow-up book as well, which is the guide's perspective, and it's got loads and loads of really good stories in there, and just loads more information and things you wouldn't really think about, especially about the changing conditions and stuff like that, which I really enjoyed reading. I'm on my second way through it again at the moment, and my favourite thing about this book obviously is that it has got the story of my bass with Mark as well. So I'm really chuffed to be in the book and to have that big fish put in there. But like I said, I do credit that fish to Mark. I'll put some links up for that story, etc. Thanks very much. Hope you follow me on the journey. I'll sort of tell you all about the stuff I've been buying and doing, etc., as we go along, and then just gradually fill you in as and when, if I catch some bass. Hopefully I'll be catching them left, right and centre, but I'm not overly confident yet. I've got a lot to learn. Feel free to chuck me comments and also any tips, etc., along the way. Really keen to hear what everybody else's targets are this year, but my target is definitely for a 60 centimetre plus bass on my own from the shore in South Devon. Thanks everyone.